Why did I become a financial advisor? That is the topic of today's YouTube episode. Thank you so much for joining us here, The Savvy Investor on YouTube. Appreciate you checking out the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and share that with your friends as well. So, for those of you that have watched for us a while, you know us. Lawrence, I don't know, Lawrence, have you made an appearance on the YouTube
I
channel?
think early on, I may have made one or two special appearances.
Special, you mean special because again, you're the best dressed guy at Pro Status, hands down, unequivocally the best dressed guy in the studio. And I always say it to the point of embarrassment, but probably in the greater Baltimore D.C. area here. I mean, you look fly, man. And for those of you who are watching us, I mean, you can attest to that.
No, I appreciate it, and thank you so much. I try, so no.
Well, you're doing well, man. You're doing well. So this episode, this YouTube episode is all about why the two of you became financial advisors. To kind of get to know you, Ryan, we'll go to you next. But Lawrence, let's go to you first. As a financial planner, you help people retire. You help people with their finances. That's huge, man. What made you do that?
I didn't make the NBA. Was really the big reason. No, I was a high school basketball player, had big dreams. Eventually realized that probably wasn't going to happen, and I wasn't going to be able to retire my parents, when I was 21 years old or whatever it might be. So I started to look into, actual just financial planning and helping them kind of, because they never grew up with them having an advisor or a real financial plan for them. So I knew that, unless, me, my brothers and sisters did something to kind of help out, that they would, be one of those stories that they had to work until their 70s, 80s, and probably die working essentially. So, I started to figure out, what do people do in this type of situation? How do we start trying to figure out what are the best avenues for them to take? What is retirement planning? What does retirement even look like? Then as I started to dig deeper into that and just kind of do my own research, I kind of fell in love with the whole aspect of retirement planning and helping those that don't have a financial plan or do have a financial plan, just elevate the financial plan. So that's really the biggest reason was, to help out my parents is kind of where it started. And then it just grew from there.
And what about this? What about the way you dress? I mean, you're a spectacular dresser. How does that play into who you are as a financial planner today?
So that is a very long story that starts from where I was born. I was born in Kinshasa, Zaire, now Democratic Republic of Congo. But it starts from living there, growing up there, being trapped in civil wars there, and then eventually getting rescued. And just the way I dress and tailoring and custom clothing just comes from some of the things I had to deal with there, and it kind of put me at ease. And now I've kind of just taken that, that passion for that and love to dress nice, be presentable to my clients, and, just like to stay dapper from that standpoint.
I love it, and man, that's a magnificent story, and that also that life experience has to play into planning and helping people prepare for retirement.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just being able to talk with people from all walks of life, being able to engage with them, understanding, having compassion for different scenarios, because we do run into a lot of folks that, have everything established, they've planned well, they've saved well for retirement, and it's really just taking them through that next step. But then, occasionally there's those clients that haven't saved a lot or aren't truly prepared for retirement, and being able to talk them through different strategies or solutions or kind of guide them and not judge them, but guide them and help them out. Coming from where I've come from, I'm able to, or I feel like I'm able to kind of do that and relate to them and empathize with them to help them, set up certain steps and strategies to get them to where hopefully they're trying to go.
Because you've been there, and I love this style of conversation here on the YouTube channel that we can do. Because there's things that we can do and talk about here on your YouTube channel that we can't on the radio just because there's time limits and constraints and things like that. Ryan, we always see commercials. We hear financial advisors talk, and they always go to dollars and cents. Of course, you guys are going to take care of that. But people want to know about you, what makes you tick. Your wife, your girls. Tell us a little bit about that, and what made you become who you are today as a financial planner at Pro Status.
Well, I don't have quite the interesting story like Lawrence does, or if you heard Mike talk about why he became an advisor, I don't have any a story like that. Really for me, I had always wanted to be a marine biologist for years and years and years. Went to college for it, got into college and realized that, this really isn't what I thought it was going to be. Not everybody's a dolphin trainer at SeaWorld kind of thing. And then I decided to take a couple different business classes. One of the classes, the only A I would say I ever got in college, was in a personal finance class. And what really intrigued me was there was a stock picking competition. And prior to that, my only real experience with stock was, I remember when my dad worked for UPS for 30 plus years, and he had given my brother and I some UPS stock. And I remember his explanation to me, and I don't understand it to this day, was that whenever UPS had a meeting, they had X amount of chairs, chairs to sit in. And they were using my chairs to sit in. Therefore, I got a percentage of the profits or the money that they made from that. And I remember the checks were like $20, $30, $40, something like that coming in. And so, that was my experience with stocks. I really didn't know. And, I ended up doing really, really well in this stock picking class. And I decided that, probably finance is the way I wanted to go. So then I started working for T. Rowe Price all those years ago. And I ended up getting put kind of on the phones talking with retirees from all the New York power companies. And I got tired of having the same conversation where, I just retired from, XYZ plant. I got all this money in my 401k. What should I do? Well, when I was working for T. Rowe Price, they ran the 401k, and the incentive for me was, well, you should roll your money over from this T. Rowe Price 401k into a T. Rowe Price IRA. And people your age are investing in this. And it was to me, very vanilla information, very non-personalized advice, because people your age are doing this doesn't really mean anything. And, I just decided one day that this is not, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to give people advice, but I want it to be something of value. I don't want to just give them their recommendation because this is the only thing that I can offer them. I want to have a difference. And so, I found Mike and Pro Status way back in 2007 when he was it was a 3 or 4 person operation. And together we've grown it to this 26 employee multi-state practice here that we consult other advisors all around the country. And it all started really from that one stock picking class. And, a couple of years ago, I asked my dad, I said, can you explain to me how stocks work again? And he goes, what do you mean? You don't know how stocks work? And I said, Dad, I know how stock work. Obviously, I know how it all works, but I remember the story you told me all those years ago. And he looked at me like I had 6 heads. He's like, what are you talking about? I would have never said that to you all those years ago. But, that's what stuck out to me. And then my daughters, I've tried doing the same thing for my daughters. Like you said, I've got two young daughters who are 11 and 9. And, I've bought stock for them in their college accounts. They have Disney because my wife loves going to Disney, and we go there. I don't know. My oldest daughter's 11. I think she's been to Disney World 15 friggin' times for some reason. So I buy them stock in Disney. I bought them stock in Netflix, just things that they know. And, I really just try to explain to them that you own a piece of this company. If this company does well, they share some of that profit with you. I tried the chairs analogy with them, and they're like, what are you talking about? Type of thing. But, it really wasn't any, for me, it wasn't a specific life experience. It really just was, oh, hey, I think I might be good at this in college. I actually got an A instead of a C or a D at that point because I really wasn't paying that much attention.
Got a few minutes here for the folks watching. What should we be looking for when we are shopping around for an advisor?
I think that, Lawrence will probably agree that, you want an advisor who is independent. I don't think you should be working with an advisor that works for, one of the name brands, you go talk to a Lincoln Financial person, and all they can sell you is Lincoln Financial products. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe it might not be the best thing for you. Same thing, you go talk to Mass Mutual or T Rowe or Vanguard or any of those things. While their products might be really, really good, it might not be the best thing available to you. And I think that working with an independent financial advisor who can do everything for you, by everything meaning they can provide you the services, they can provide you the products across all of those companies. If Lincoln Financial is the best thing out there, they can give you the Lincoln Financial. If it's Mass Mutual, Vanguard, T Rowe, Fidelity, any of those things, they can do it all for you. So having someone that is independent, but most importantly, someone who is a fiduciary, someone who has an obligation to look out for your best interest, not look out for their bottom line, not look out for the company's bottom line, but looking out for your best interest. That is the most important thing that you should be looking for in a financial advisor. And that is why, Lawrence, myself, and ProStatus, that we are independent financial advisors who are fiduciaries. We have a duty to look out for your best interest and make sure that we're making the best recommendations and putting together the proper financial plan for you, because there is no one size fits all approach in retirement. And if that's really what you're looking for in a financial planner, someone who's going to give you the best advice for you that they possibly can, I encourage you, click on the link in the description below to schedule your complimentary consultation, to have a personalized review with Lawrence, myself, Mike, and our team here at ProStatus. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
All right, guys, thanks again for your time in doing this. We get to know you guys a lot better. Just helps things a lot more. And like Ryan said, if you want to find out more, if you want to ask questions, click the link in the description below to schedule that time with Ryan, with Lawrence, with Mike Kinnett, with all the staff at ProStatus, and here, of course, on the Savvy Investor YouTube.